welcome to the ORK Framework Tutorial Series Video 5. Today we're going to be covering scene changes, and I wanted to do one extra thing to show you. So, in the last video, I showed you how to add the sprint button or key to its functionality, but now we need to actually make it function. So under Game Controls and Base Control, I want you to scroll down to Player Controls, and you'll see Sprint Settings. Ensure that Use Sprint is enabled and that the sprint key that you made is put in here. And sprint factor just determines the actual speed. So since it's set to 2, it's going to double move speed, or what it is saying right over there. Okay, so now that we covered that, let's go to our scene wizard. We're still in the town. We still have this selected. The reason I have it selected is because I want this spawn point I'm going to make to be directly on top of it. I want you to spawn in the same place every time. Let's go ahead and create another spawn point. Okay, so you know what, real quick though, the reason I'm making another spawn point, or kind of going through the exercise of making a second spawn point, is even though these two scenes technically just loop, they each have one entrance and one exit. If this particular scene had a separate entrance and exit over here, we would need additional spawn points for that, so that that scene changer could communicate with between those two levels. So that's why we're kind of going through the exercise of creating something a little separate, not tying them both in together. Okay, so spawn point 1 is done. So let's go ahead and select it again. Go to the ORK Scene Wizard, create object, and then scene changer. Once that's done, go ahead and scoot it over here to the end of the map. And what I'd like to do, just a personal preference, is I remove that, and then I add a new one. That is a box collider. That's just, I feel like it makes it a little bit easier for me to know what kind of area it's covering. So we're just going to extend that out and then extend it up. There you go. Now it's just really hard to miss. And it covers like a pretty specific line across the map. So it's just, like I said, it's personal preference. It doesn't really do anything. So the scene changer is pretty cool. It can do a lot of different things. I'm not going to go over all that stuff right now, but you're going to see this add target scene. That doesn't do what you think it does, okay? It doesn't like allow you to pick from a list of target scenes. It actually adds another scene that this can go to. So maybe this door leads to different places. So if you were to create like a portal in a game and you wanted that portal to have access to different spots, this is how you do it. You'd add a couple of different ones, create a variable, probably like a Boolean or a number variable or whatever you decided on, and you would have it that when that variable is active, it would take you to a different spawn ID, which would send you to a different level. So we're not going to worry about that right now. We're going to type in our target scene though. In this case, it's going to be 2 field, and the spawn ID is going to be 0. Now, I want you to take note that this one has a spawn ID of 1. This one has a spawn ID of 0. We don't have to worry about this being 0 because it's going to be 0 in the next scene. So let's go ahead and save this. And then go to field, main camera, there we go. And while we're here, let's go ahead and create an object and create a spawn point. So the spawn point ID is now 0, which is good. It doesn't conflict with the other one because they're in different scenes. So now that that's there, let's go ahead and move that up a little bit. Alright, we're going to do this 180 because it spawns facing this direction. It spawns facing the Z-axis or Z-axis. So wherever that is, you know that's the direction it's going to go. At least for this particular scene. And because I've tested this like 3,500 times. So when you do that, when you check your spawn and you come into the wrong place, that's how you fix that. Go up to your Y-axis or your X-axis or whatever is incorrect about it and you switch it there. Okay, now that we've done that, let's while it's still selected, let's go to the Scene Wizard, create object, and scene changer. There we go, we have another scene changer. Okay, I'm going to move that right there. Same thing as before. Remove the component. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with the sphere collider, so if you don't feel like changing it, don't. It doesn't in any way slow you down or hinder you. Okay, so let's size this guy up real quick. Okay. Now what we want to do is add our target scene, which will be one town and spawn point 1. Perfect. Okay, Control S. Now that thing that I mentioned before, I'm just going to show you it in practice. So our spawn point 1 is there. Because it's going to go to spawn ID 1, it's actually going to spawn us right over there. Make sure it's kind of in a good spot. Okay. So let's go to the menu. Yep. Let's go to the main menu and test this out. All right. There we are. The sprint works. Oh, love it. Okay. There we go. There we are. So now it's facing us over here. And like I said, it put us on the Z-axis, which has us facing away from all the stuff that'll be in this scene. Alright, cool. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.